Good morning, guys. It's LSP. It's currently the 14th of May, 2022. I'm going to do a quick review. I don't know if I'll be able to get around to an afternoon market review today, but I'll do my best to. So I'll do a quick rundown. UST and Luna, they are currently in the process of trying to figure something out. Do Kwon posted something. What I don't want to do though is I don't want to kind of just post everything that that they say. I'd rather just wait for some solid information, something that I know is definitely going to happen, and then we can just go with that. I haven't had a chance to read anything this morning. I've just come straight on. I wanted to look at the markets, do a quick review for you guys, and then I'm going to jump over to the news. I'm going to start reading, get abreast of everything that's going on, and then if I have some time later, I will do a afternoon review. So again, we just have to be patient with UST. Obviously, this is affecting a lot of things in the market and actually outside of the cryptocurrency market as well. So it would be nice if they come up with something that is that appeases the majority of people, because whatever it is that they decide to do doesn't always necessarily mean that they're going to appease everybody. There are going to be people that are unhappy, and there are going to be people that are very happy. So ultimately, whatever happens, let's just hope that they get it done and get it done quickly. Luna. I just want to quickly say something about Luna, and then I'm going to move away from this because there's not really much to report. Stay away from Luna if you can. I know people, that are engaging with Luna. I've had DMs from people who have lost a lot of money on Luna, and they are suffering psychologically. They unfortunately were drawn into this idea that they were going to make a lot of money, and I'm not here to judge. I've done that myself in the past before, but I will quickly say, if anybody has lost money on Luna, or they're struggling, or something's not right, my DMs are always open. I'm always happy to try to explain my position, give people my experience, and try and help people through some of these things that are going on. Because like I said, I've had a few DMs and they're not very nice stories, guys. People are losing their shirts, and it's getting to the point now where it's like it's not even $1,000 or $2,000. It's like $15,000. Like losing $15,000 on Luna is that's not healthy. That is really, really not good. And that is a gambling mentality. It's an impulse, because you think, yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money, and things like this, they suck you in. Just imagine when you look at a chart like this, right? The best thing to do is just assume that it was created this way to steal your money, right? Because they're trying to entice you. It's like a casino. Please, be careful, guys. Be really, really careful. So let's go over to Bitcoin. Again, not a great deal's changed, but everything still stands. Thankfully, it's stabilizing in this area between sort of 28,000 and 30,000. I'm hoping, that we maintain these levels long enough to see what happens throughout the weekend. Okay, because during weekends, as we know, you can get a little bit more volatility in the cryptocurrency market, and generally the crossover from Saturday evening going into Sunday morning, sort of GMT time, is when things start to get a little bit crazy sometimes. So again, remember, weekends a little bit more volatile. Be careful. Let the market kind of settle, do its thing, and again, let the market tell you when it's ready to go. Right now we see on the hourly, it's still maintaining this structure, still looks decent. So I'm hoping that if we can get to 31, 32, and 33, it's going to give a little bit of lift to the market, both psychologically, and kind of settle things to give the market time to breathe. But we also have to be mindful always, that this continuation to the downside, can happen. And if that does happen, the first place it's going to want to drive to is sort of 24,000. And if it really gains some legs, obviously, down here at 20,000 and lower. As I said in a previous video, it would be nice if it just snaps down there very, very quickly, capitulates, full capitulation, and then just off we go back to the upside. That would be better. I also want to quickly cover something because I saw it in my Discord this morning. Somebody made a comment regarding, do you think that because prices are so low on Bitcoin at the moment, that a lot of institutions and big players are going to want to come in and buy cheap, right? Or something to the effect of, because I skimmed through it. So apologies if I've got that wrong. But ultimately, I just want to quickly say something. Most of these institutions, they accumulate Bitcoin or accumulate positions very, very slowly, right? So they don't want to shake the market. They don't want to, they don't want you to know that they're buying, obviously huge amounts of Bitcoin. So they do it slowly, which means in doing so, they're not really going to be affecting the price the way that you would think they're affecting the price. It would be nice to assume that a huge institution comes in, buys loads of Bitcoin, and it really starts to rip to the upside. It would require huge orders to be hitting the markets, consistently over and over again, right, to really get this thing moving to the upside. So just bear that in mind. Obviously we know that there's billions being moved around on Bitcoin quite frequently, and yet, we hardly ever see any movement, when that's happening. So again, be mindful of that. But in terms of the actual idea itself, yeah, I do believe that these levels are very discounted, and I do think that with, Fidelity, offering a portion of their pensions, in Bitcoin, I think slowly that's coming into a lot of traditional finance models, and then ultimately you're going to have Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies that are the safer, of the bunch, being added to a lot of portfolios, I believe, right? So ultimately, we're not going to be staying down at these levels forever. We may need to really just flush everything out before we start to run to the upside, but at some point, whenever that point will be, who knows? Could be a year, could be 10 years, I don't know, but I think we will see all-time highs at some point on Bitcoin, because that's just the way it is. It's the mechanics of things, right? Binance, not a real change. Again, a little bit more pronounced, as I said, in terms of the movement to the downside and the reversal. Still looks good. I like the 4 hour. It would be nice if it just dips in, grabs the 270, just clear this imbalance and then start to run. Get us back to 350 would be fantastic. But again, a lot's dependent on Bitcoin. And then we'll just quickly jump over to Ethereum. Somebody asked me to do Ethereum, and talk about Ethereum. Ethereum's slightly different. There is a lot of liquidity building up here, right? That's got to go. Got to be a little bit more precise with that. That'll do. So Ethereum, there's a lot of liquidity building up below here, right? So if price really starts to go, it's going to be here, right? 1500 to 1400 on Ethereum if it really starts to go to the downside. In terms of the 4 hour, you can see it actually looks a little bit less. The structure of Ethereum isn't as neat, isn't as strong, as it is on Bitcoin and Binance. But again, it is stabilizing down here. There has been that little bit of push, on that last portion, enough to slow things down. But again, ultimately, we are at the mercy of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts to go, everything else is going to follow. All right, guys. So I'll have a quick look at everything regarding the UST situation, Luna and so on. And I'll do my best to report that later in the afternoon. Hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic weekend. And I look forward to speaking to you then. Take care, guys. Bye.